Brandogen arms you with strategy, clarity,
systems. Brandogen!
oxygen for business growth.
"2025 has been a beautiful year for many of us, and we at Brandogen Nigeria, we decided to come up with this particular training through the arm of our business, Brandogen, to discuss this pressing issues with business owners. We believe that is bringing up serious concern for most individuals. And as such, we believe that putting up this with the assistance and help of our partners who are also going to be addressing some important issues will help to resolve most of these concerns we have, and at least I'm sure reduce panic and help us to scale our businesses. I am Jasper, your host, Jasper Moye. I am the brand and marketing and advertising strategist at Brandogen Nigeria. We offer marketing services of all kinds, especially online, everything that has to do with marketing, advertising, and helping your business to rightly strategize for growth. We have done so much this year with a good number of businesses across Nigeria, and we believe that our impact is so valuable that we should expand our reach to many more businesses. We have part of the things we've offered. We were able to create a community where we assist business owners with useful information, like what we're going to be doing today. We believe that information is power, especially when applied. So we decided to have a platform where we are going to be sharing this information with most business owners through the arm of our business, which I have mentioned before, which is Brandogen. So for this particular training today, as the day one for this event, we are having Mr. Patrick, who are going to be speaking with us concerning all we need to know about the new tax law. Please, Mr. Patrick, I don't know if you're here with us.
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
So Mr. Patrick,
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
We are hearing you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
so in the next 30 minutes, Mr. Patrick is going to be taking us on all we need to know. He's going to be educating us on the necessary things we need to know about the whole new tax law, how it's going to be affecting our businesses, and the possible things we can do to reduce whatever tax it is we may have to pay, or completely take it off. I believe this new tax law is a global standard, right? So, but we have an expert here to address issues like this, possibly how we all can rightly position our businesses to, be able to manage the new situation that we are going to be facing from 1st January. I would want to, before asking Mr. Patrick to get started, please, if you have someone, you wish to participate in this particular class, please kindly send the link to this training to the person to join us. We want to have as much persons as possible to hear whatever information we have here. Thank you. Please, Mr. Patrick, you can get started. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jasper. And I want to congratulate everyone who is part of this training this evening. And appreciate Mr. Jasper and his team who have put up this summit as the year is coming to an end, so that we can be better prepared for the next year, 2026. And again, I want to congratulate every entrepreneur who is part of this training tonight, first for deciding to be an entrepreneur, to be a business person. The businesses create values, and businesses are the life wire of every society. Every economy depends on businesses that create value to be able to drive the economy. And the truth is that within the past few months, I've seen how Nigerians are reacting to this issue of taxation. But I want to begin by addressing a concept. Taxation is a good thing. Why? Because a society is going to improve. People are going to have basic amenities. We are going to have access to good roads and better health care in a functional society. It demands that citizens pay tax. And who is expected to pay this tax? Certainly, you don't expect those who are not employed, who are not doing anything to pay tax. So it's you and I who create value in the marketplace that are expected to pay tax. And this, for you, the young entrepreneur today. So our duty first is to ensure that we are compliant. Then when we are compliant, when we have performed our civic responsibility, the second thing is to hold leaders accountable. We'll come to that later. Maybe that's not part of what I'm going to talk about. But common wealth through taxation, this government is expanding its network access. You and I should also ensure that them accountable when the time comes. So, but for this evening, I will be speaking to the new tax law and how business owners, entrepreneurs can better prepare themselves. Now, this information is vital. Information is key because there's a way you position your business and you pay more tax. There's a way you position your business, and even though you earn more than me, you pay lesser tax compared to what I pay. And that is where information now comes in. So we'll be looking at the things you need to do. I need to also make this very, very clear. Tax evasion, evading tax is a criminal offense. That's not what I want to help you do this evening. You shouldn't evade tax. But there are ways that you can legally reduce the amount of money you pay as tax. And you can only explore that opportunity and that option if you know what the law requires, if you know what the law provides for. Okay, so I'm going to try as much as I can to make this brief. Okay, so after this session, I believe you will have opportunity to ask questions. And the ones I can provide answers to, I'll try. But the ones I'm not able to hear, maybe we can connect, then see how to be of help. So regarding this, the new tax law, what has changed is the first question. The second question is, what is taxable? Then the third question is, how do you stay compliant? Then the fourth one that will now usher us into the topic proper is how can smart businesses position themselves to be able to enjoy maybe reduction in the amount of tax you are supposed to pay. But I would want to say this as one who works with people who wants to start up businesses. You see, as we go on, you will find out that it's all about structure. Structure, the foundation you build for your business when you are starting. For most of you who are listening to me this evening, it's possible you have started your business on the wrong foundation. Okay, so after this class or this session this evening, I expect that you go back to the drawing board, because if you started with the wrong structure, that will expose you. Okay, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Okay, and so structuring is important. It's in structure that to say those who pay more, those who pay less, and those who even don't pay at all, like we're going to see. That's where you find out the difference between these two. So the first thing we'll be looking at is how the new tax law affects your business. How does the new tax law affects your business, right? Businesses. And I know that most of you have your businesses registered with CAC. You see, the new tax law will begin to deal with your business, first of all, starting with the category under which your business is registered. For instance, someone that has an enterprise is likely going to pay more in taxation, as we are going to see. I know that from the statistics, about, if not all, of the participants here fall among those classified as small business owners. If that's correct, it means that you are supposed to enjoy certain pampering as you are starting up your business, because you're just trying to come up, right? You are not yet among those classified as medium or large scale businesses. Everywhere in the world, government supports businesses in that category. But you see, the category you decide to register your business under CAC would either protect you in the coming year or expose you to what I would term excessive taxation. Okay, so that's why I mentioned strong tax owner from next year. Okay, we begin to pay tax like an income earner. That means you pay tax like a civil servant, meaning that your enterprise, registering your business as an enterprise, didn't give you any cover. Now, under the new tax regime, I want to be fair to this government, right? Tinubu didn't introduce anything new. The tax laws was just consolidated in existed what you have. As a matter of fact, they even for civil servants or those who are salary earners, those who earn within the minimum wage threshold are now exempted from taxation. That it wasn't so before. Okay, so in all fairness to them, I think they've just tried to consolidate, created a framework to ensure that these laws are enforceable. So for those who have registered their business as enterprise, they'll be paying tax like civil servants, salary earners, meaning that what you have as enterprise is not different from you. And if you really understand how these things work, you know that there is a company and there is what you call in Nigeria, enterprise or business name. Okay, so an enterprise is not different from the owner. And that is why when the way a salary earner pays their tax, that's how those who operate using the enterprise business structure will eventually pay tax from next year. But if you have a limited liability company, right, which you can run, register, you can be the sole director, you can be the sole shareholder, and then you can be the sole PSC. That's person with significant control. Now, when you have that kind of business, limited liability, the law says that you are exempted from tax. So long as your turnover for the year does not exceed 50 million naira, you are exempted from tax. That's one. Then secondly, even if your turnover exceeds 50 million or gets to close to 50 million, and you are able to convert some of it to assets, so long as your asset is not more than 250 million naira, you will enjoy tax exemption, giving you an ample amount of opportunity to grow enough to be able to begin to pay tax. So you now see that the exposure here is about you and it has to do with planning. Now, as someone that works with business owners who wants to start their business, helping them to get compliant, open corporate accounts and all of that, I've seen people who they will want to register their business and you begin to advise them. But the first thing that Nigerians, a typical Nigerian will ask you is how much is the cost? They don't care about anything other than cost. That shouldn't be you. Okay, and if you have made that mistake, please, after this session, just decide that you are going to, anybody that's running a business at all, and you want to register, my advice is register it as a limited liability company. The benefits are, in fact, side by side limited enterprise. There is no benefit for registering an enterprise at all. And the price difference is not even much. Okay, so The first thing I've said here is that limited liability company, if the liability company, any make other than 800,000, you'll be taxed on it, 10% tax on it. I mean, that is huge, right? The value is you a month. A typical business owner in Nigeria makes more than that. And if you begin to pay tax on that, it means you are shooting yourself on the leg. So structure is very, very important. Okay, so get yourself a limited liability company. That is the first thing you need to do, right? So then the second thing is, what is taxed? Please, what is taxed is not turnover. So many persons have been confusing this on the social media space. They will say, once so amount of money enter your hand, then you are taxed. No, please, what is taxed is your net profit. And what is net profit? Net profit is what you have left after you've removed your cost of production. It is that thing that is taxed. Okay, so for the limited liability company owner, the tax, you qualify. There are two things here. Let me explain. There are two things here. Who is qualified for tax is different from what is taxed. Who is qualified for tax is a limited liability company owner who has turnover exceeding 50 million and assets exceeding 250 million naira. He qualifies to be taxed. Then we will now go into his profit. It is his profit that is now taxed. I don't know if you understand what we are saying here, but it's important you get these facts together. All right. Then for an enterprise owner who is taxed like an individual, okay, anything above 800K, this one is no longer about turnover. Okay, anything above 800,000 naira is taxed. So this is important. Now, small businesses get relief. True. But the small businesses that get relief are only those businesses registered as limited liability company, like I've said, that have turnover below 50 million. And then assets, not more than 250 million. So in the coming year, from January 2026, you will have to be expecting stringent enforcement from tax authorities. Accounts will be monitored, and officers are going to ensure. In fact, there are so many digital tools in place to ensure that everybody is compliant. So the question, I know Nigerians like evading systems, but the question and the goal for you shouldn't be on how you can evade anything. Just ensure that you are compliant. And the compliance begins with structure. Like I said, structure in terms of the category of your business registration, then putting measures in place to ensure that you are compliant. All right. So if you are operating a family business that is not registered yet, please ensure that your business is registered. Just get it legal. Make sure that you are registered. So the bottom line is that structure now matters more than ever. It is structure that will save you from all of the headache. Okay, structure, structure, and structure. I've said that. Then the second is what is taxable under the law. What is taxable? You have the first thing that is taxable is company profit. I've said that before. And that is net profit, please, not gross profit. Net profit is what you have after you've removed your cost of production. Your cost of production includes your running costs. It includes salaries. It includes cost of power, everything you need to provide goods and services, right? Those are part of your cost. You need to do this, get your net profit, and it is this net profit that is taxed only if you fall under the category of businesses that are taxed. All right. And then you also have goods and services supply. That is VAT. And this is important. That you paid your tax doesn't mean that you will not fight for VAT if you are a VATable person or VATable business. What is VAT? VAT is value added tax. These are taxes paid by the customer, not the company itself. However, it is withhold. We call it withholding VAT. It is the company that withholds it on behalf of tax authorities, right? And so when the company withholds it, the company files this VAT, right, in its name to tax authorities. For instance, you might have gone to mall, maybe ShopRite or other shopping malls to buy things. And when you are done buying, there's a cost. Maybe you have done your calculation from your head based on the prices they wrote as value added tax. They will collect it because it is you who is the customer that will pay for it. Now, the company will withhold it and file it. From next year, if you are VATable, you are expected to file your VAT with Nigerian Revenue Service, formerly FIRS. Now, there are so many changes that have been made to even these tax agencies currently. So just, the name is not important, but just expect even some of the taxes that are paid on import will be collected by this Nigerian Revenue Service because there's a consolidation that have been made to ensure that there is no duplication of taxes. Okay, so number one, I said company profits. So the company pays tax, fine. But then as a company, as a business owner, if you also check whether you qualify, you are under the threshold of those who will now pay VAT. Now, any business that has turnover above 25 million, please, is VATable. What qualifies you to be a VATable business is if you have turnover exceeding 25 million naira. So you need to register, okay? You need to put systems in place. Now, technology is everywhere, and you need to leverage on technology to ensure that you are compliant, all right? Then what again is taxable? You have capital gains like asset, capital gains like asset. For instance, I run a company, and from the proceeds of my company, I bought a land. I bought that land 3 million naira. If I sell that land 3 million naira next month, right, I shouldn't pay nothing on it because no profit was made. But if I make extra 1 million from the sales of that land, I will have to pay tax on it under capital gains because I've made some profits. Okay? Then what else is taxable? You have digital and online income. Those who sell digital products, you have a course on Udemy. You have an ebook on Amazon. When you make profit from those, you are expected to pay tax. Then rent, interest, and commissions, right? Commissions are taxed, please. You are working with P1, you make commissions, it's taxed from next year. So you just ensure that you are compliant. All of this, company profit is taxed, goods and services supplied, VAT. You offer services to a company, you offer services to people, you collect 7.5% of that, right, on that particular product that you now file as your company VAT. So in a nutshell, turnover is not taxed, please. It is profit that is taxed. Owners' capitals and loans are not taxable. You collected loan, as they are paying the loan into your account, please, it's not taxed. Okay, the capital you use to start up is not taxed as well. What is taxed is the profit that you've made over time. So what you must do to stay compliant, what should you do as a business owner in order to stay compliant? These ones are non-negotiable. What must you do? See, the wisdom is in doing what you should do. Okay, not doing what you should do would expose you. I'm saying this because in Nigeria, when laws are made this way, there are crooks in the system that will go out, use that same law to intimidate you. If you are a Nigerian, you should be smart. If there's anybody that should be smart, it should be a Nigerian. The reason is because you have people who are even employees of government that are out to exploit you. So you go and report yourself by yourself for yourself before somebody will come and begin to use your ignorance to exploit you. So what must you do to stay compliant? These are non-negotiable come 2026. you need to register your company as a limited liability company. This is a company. Even if you started that company, you are not sure whether it will grow or not. Please register it limited liability benefits. You have edge. Okay, there are lots for you to gain and almost nothing for you to lose, because apart from this tax thing, I cannot float any business and not register it as a limited liability company. The thing is, in the eye of the law, an enterprise is almost like you. Do you know that one of the benefits of having a limited liability company is that you have limitation of liability? If I have a limited liability company, either is exclusively owned by myself or I have other shareholders, and I have 2 million share capital in that company, and someone else has 1 million share in that company, someone else has 500,000 shares. If that company goes into a loss or runs into a loss, and creditors and debtors come back to look for their money, I'm required to pay only 2 million and nothing more. The man who made commitment of 500,000 share capital will only pay 500,000 naira, nothing more. But you see, an enterprise owner, you don't have such privileges. So number one, I said you need to register or re-register as a limited liability company. That's very, very important. Then two, you need to register for VAT. If your turnover is 25 million naira and above, registering for VAT is adapting, but it's better for you to be compliant as a business than for you to be non-compliant. Okay. Now, first of all, understand that evading tax is a criminal offense. Then number two, there are penalties. For anyone who evades tax, the first month is 50K. Then subsequently, 25K for every other month that you didn't do the right thing. And I think they also have a percentage, the way they calculate for corporations and all of that. This one I just told you is for an individual. Okay, so number two, I said you register for VAT, and sure, most of these things can be done online. Now, the Nigerian Revenue Service, formerly FIRS, they have a website where you can begin to do your filings online. Then the third one is that you need to operate a separate bank account from your individual account. One of the reasons why you even need to get your business registered is to ensure that you are able to operate a corporate account, an account that is different from your personal account. Okay. Then the fourth one is that you need to keep receipts and clearly describe every expense or description. That place is supposed to tell your story. Pay 20 million in tax. And you'll be like, 20 million, where all of everything I have done is not even up to 50 million. But that's the way they do it. And that's the intelligent way of making people say the truth. One of the best way to do it is to put on their head what they didn't do. So make sure you are compliant, right? Keep receipts, describe every transaction. It's fine for you to pay yourself if you're running a business. Please know that you are the owner of the business doesn't mean you shouldn't be paid. Put up a salary structure for yourself. Pay yourself handsomely if your business can afford it. Okay, describe it there, salary. If you even have a wife that is supporting you, pay them. Have it documented. Spend from that your salary. Okay. One of in liability. And then, for instance, it's a standard procedure that you could get a car that you use to run that business in the name of that business, not in your name. And if you buy a car in the name of the business, it becomes part of the running capital for that business. And because you bought a car in the name of the business that you use to run that business, it's no longer taxable. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. So these are some of the things, some of the beauties and benefits of incorporating a business. Another thing again is that a limited liability company enjoys every privilege due to a natural person in law, meaning that you can sue somebody in the name of your company. An enterprise doesn't have that leverage. You can sue somebody, and somebody can also sue that company, because in the eye of the law, that's a legal entity. Like this, it's standing on its own, different from the owners. All right. So fine, early, avoid penalties and exploitation. Tax officers will exploit you. You will be at that end where you will be saying, "Oga, abeg, collect this one now. You know, collect 250. Abeg now, collect 2 million." The worst people for you to beg are Nigerians when they have power. You don't want to be in that position. So please just be compliant, okay? Do everything that the law requires. Be the safe side. If that way,
says again, or Philip, says no, should be mention it. So
where are we getting numbers from?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so if you are lucky to reach out to me later, that one is now professional advice and it's a paid service. Or maybe you can, but you don't have all the time. That's what I mean here. Okay, we can now discuss how you can, even if your turnover is getting to that amount, how you can legally, right, still enjoy the benefits of tax exemption. We're not teaching anything illegal here. These are legal means of making sure that we pay lesser tax. So compliance is now preventive and not reactive. Now, anytime you begin to react to this particular law, because I see so many persons shouting and they're not doing anything about it. At the end of the day, they are still running their enterprise. At the end of the day, they're not getting TIN number. And again, let me also address this. The taxes will not be deducted from your account, please, no. But when they hold you for truth, now you by yourself go use your hand, daughter, in a manner that you'll be crying while you are doing the right thing. Don't be reactive, be compliant. Then, how smart business owners will position themselves for 2026? How do you position yourself? And this is the last part. How do you position yourself? Number one, use business and tax professionals to build structure. See, if you don't build structure to be compliant when your business is small, as your business begins to grow, and that is one thing with growth, growth comes with lots of headache. Foundations are built very early in the journey. People think that there is nobody that will start building a house, and after they have roofed it, they roofed it as bungalow, and then they now say, hey, I think, let me make it 4-story building. No, 4-story building begins from the foundation. So somebody might spend 2 months casting strong pillars in the foundation, ensuring he buys strong steel, and you will be wondering, why is this person spending all this time in the foundation? The height of the buildings to build. Business owners invest in building structures. Nigerians have a problem with paying people who will give them advice. You see, if you will go far as a business owner, you will get to the point where you convince yourself that it's not only the things you see that you need to pay for. There are values that you don't see. You need to pay for those values, so long as they would give you the right structure, put you in the right place. If it's knowledge, invest in it. So invest in business and tax professionals to build the right structure. Number two, adopt e-voicing and proper accounting systems. These days, everything has gone digital. You can buy accounting softwares for your business to ensure that everything is streamlined. In that case, you will not be taking unawares. Number three, keep good cash flow to asset ratio. I just told you about turnover. and also told you about assets. Naira in turnover, 250 million naira in assets. How do you now know the right way to convert cash flow to asset? So you will be on the safer side. That also requires you to talk to a professional. Then you conduct self-audits before FIRS does. That's number 4. Audit yourself. Audit yourself by yourself. You might not like the outcome. Okay. Then number 5, you plan taxes before profit arrives, not after. You plan taxes before profit. Just have a system for ensuring that whatever comes in at the end of the day is accounted for, one, and that you have a model for calculating your taxes and remitting as quickly as possible. So smart businesses plan, while weak ones panic. As we enter 2026, I want to believe that you are part of smart businesses that would actively plan the way to manage your business so you can become compliant. So the new tax law is not to punish businesses, please. It is designed to ensure that we have a better system, right? So adopt e-invoicing and proper accounting system. If you properly set up your business, I guarantee you, you will pay less. You will pay less. Again, I'm a business consultant, and everything we do here is about businesses. So what can we help you do? We can help you upgrade your business if you have enterprise already to limited liability company. We can help you set VAT and TIN compliance and tax structure. And this particular kind of offer for you, I have the approval of our host to share that with you. Ordinarily, limited liability company registration costs 80,000 naira. But because you are part of this program, we'll be giving it to you for 68,000 naira only. And that's for those who participated in this program. And whoever, again, that our host thank you for being part of this session this evening. Apologies for that little interruption, and hope to see you as a business leader climbing greater heights come 2026. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Mr. Patrick. We appreciate so much for the in-depth knowledge and dive in discussing this whole topic. I have been busy taking down a lot of notes from all you've been saying. I believe just as it's useful, the knowledge you shared, I believe is also as useful to me as compared to other participants in this meeting. Please, if I will permit, I don't know if there's just one person who would like to share in his or her knowledge or one question because of our time, based on what he has thought. Do we have anyone? Okay, we already have. Okay, what we're going to do, please now put your question in the chat box so that by the time I'm done, we can just take the question from there. The first question we are going to have here, we're going to be taking that. So, but in the course of what you're saying, what you said, I was able to pick down a lot of notes. You mentioned that part of things we can do to rightly position ourselves. You mentioned quite a good number of things, but you said we should audit ourselves even before the time gets there. We should plan taxes even before profit arrives. You mentioned that we should try to adopt e-invoicing and accounting services, which for accounting services, tomorrow we are going to be having a chartered accountant here to discuss with us possible ways on how we can do some of these things with much ease, right? So I believe it was quite insightful. You mentioned that if I'm not mistaken, that the new tax law doesn't mean that everybody will start being taxed, right? That if your business is registered as a limited that you are going to be taxed only when you are doing above 50 million turnover, right? And for asset, I think you mentioned over 250 million. That is to say that we are tax-free, right? We are exempted from tax. And this, I believe, is what many of us here are, are really hopeful to hear. You know, it's disturbing, considering the current economy of the country, that if I'm making any progress or profit, I will be taxed on those things. You know, it's painful. So, but the exemption, I know that many of us know, is just the 800,000 that is going to be exempted for anyone. So I think with the knowledge of what you've said here, I believe is very, very much educating. Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick, for sharing this knowledge with us. We are so glad. And I would like to also remind us, based on what he said, the offer he gave us for whoever may want to take a step forward, because like I said earlier, it's not just about information. We at Brandogen, our goal is to make this information available to you, but it is up to you to take the right action after receiving this information, and you need to start taking the actions as fast as possible. New Year is already 15 days from now, or 16 days if I'm not mistaken. So you need to start acting now so you can be exempted from these issues. So back to the questions I have. As a school owner, Mr. Patrick, I don't know if you're here with us. As a school owner,
yes,
as a school owner, must we register our business as limited liability company? That's the first question we have.
Okay, let me treat them one after the other so that can do justice to them.
Rather, now, sorry. Before then, there is a question that came up before that. That was why I didn't count it. There was a question. Someone asked a question. It says zero rated and exempted VAT. What's the difference? I don't know if it's in relation to what you discussed. If not, please, we can proceed to the question about the school owner.
Zero rated could only mean that one is tax exempt, meaning that you are not you are in the category of those who enjoy tax exemption. And like I said, for VAT, those who enjoy exemption from VAT is a business that has turnover below 25 million, right? VAT is different from the normal tax we're talking about. VAT is paid by the customer for value. Once value exchange hands, right, the person who is receiving that value is expected to pay for VAT, so long as the business offering that value has a turnover exceeding 25 million. That's that. Then for the tax, corporate tax, company income tax is paid if a company, limited company now, has a turnover exceeding 50 million and assets above 250 million. I don't know if I've answered that question the way you expect. Hello? Hello?
Yes, we heard you. We heard you. Thank you. So LST, please, if you have further reactions or something, please indicate. So can we go next to the question about the school owner?
Okay. So it's asking if he should register his business as a limited liability company.
It says, as a school owner, must we register our businesses as limited liability company?
And there is a resounding yes. It's a resounding yes, apart from the fact that currently CAC no longer registers schools as enterprise. It's good for your own accounting compliance sake, right? To ensure that you remain tax compliant and at least enjoy certain benefits, like we just said. We told you that an enterprise business owner, whether it's a school or anything, does not enjoy anything except the exemption you get if your turnover is below 800,000. That's too small now. When they pay, when parents pay school fees from up to 5 kids, you don't pass that amount. So for your own good, you might need to upgrade to limited liability companies so you can enjoy these exemptions and benefits.
Okay, someone said, also as an enterprise with net profits of less than 800K in a year, is there any need to upgrade to limited liability company?
Okay. The need, like I said, is dependent. No, I told you this thing varies, right? I don't know if you are planning for growth as a business owner, then as you are starting, right? You don't wait until minutes before you try and prepare yourself. Like I said, those who are reactive would end up those who are proactive. So for me, you ask me, I would advise any business owner to register as a limited liability company. The reason is because with a limited liability company, you can even incorporate, you can capture different aspects of a business. As of today, if you are running an enterprise, you can only register one area of your business, one service, one niche. But a limited liability company can do 50 things inside one. Okay, so it gives you the leverage to be able to capture as many business interests as you have. It's still left for you as to whether you'll be paying tax if you are in the future. So you plan with future in mind. So if that's the case, then it's a yes.
Okay, thank you so much for answering those questions. We still have good number of questions here. I feel we should, if you don't mind, do you have more time to take a few more questions, sir?
Okay, let me just take two, and others can reach out if possible.
Okay, so I'm trying to check out the most important ones. I've really gone through some of them. Some of them are what you already discussed in the meeting. So someone says, please, you said you are taxed from the profits, not turnover. How do we tell the turnover from profit? I think it's quite simple. It's just a question of asking, how do you know what your profit is in your business? I don't know if I'm communicating, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah, so let me also attempt to answer that. Turnover is the total money coming into your business, coming in, going out, everything, right, that comes into your business. And goes out. Profit that running cost. What profit? That's the question. Or if I don't know if you understood what I just said.
Okay, so I think with this,
Hello.
the major. Hello, we can hear you. With this, I think we've attempted to most of the major problems. The rest, I believe, probably came late, and the whole session is recorded. We're going to be making it public to everyone on our YouTube page, channel. I will encourage everyone here, please, to go ahead to subscribe to the channel so you can get notified whenever we drop the video. We will try to do that before the next session tomorrow. And in relation to what he has said, we understand the importance for most of the things he said. And that is the reason why we have the second speaker as a chartered accountant, also here in Lagos. So we are going to be having her tomorrow to discuss the very important things that are required from us as business owners, to do in compliance with the new tax law, as not to be, to not have ourselves on the bad side. So we are going to be ending the session today. Before that happens, I want to gladly, truly appreciate everyone who has shown up today. I say a big thank you and God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Patrick, and good night.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. So please, before, if you like to contact Mr. Patrick, we are going to be having a form or in the group. The group is going to be open just so you can communicate to us. You can always reach out to Mr. Patrick. We are going to leave out a few other forms just in case you want to discuss any further thing, or you want to help him. You want him to assist you to get your business registered with CSE. There are a few other questions we have here concerning CSE anyways, but I believe that those are quite some minor issues that if you should listen to what we have said in the session, you are going to understand. Someone said, what's the benefit of CSE? I think you can always check that up on the CSE websites. It covers you for a lot of things. And without CSE, yes, you're still going to be taxed. And it's the best thing if you're in a business, it's better that you register your business, not just as a business name, but as a limited liability company. Thank you, everyone, and good night.